and welcome back to our series, Excellence in Greenstones. This is part 4 of an ongoing series that we're doing that's examining the differences in cabochons and the characteristics that lend to making better jewelry, better display specimens. And so let's just dive right in, part 4. Here we go. So we have some more stones here I set out, and so these are some examples of stones that, in my opinion, they were cut very well, and all of the basalt material was removed off the side of them and all the way down to the edge. And these are really, really fine examples of what a cabochon should be in a greenstone. This one has a nice vitreous finish. The edge, we have very little basalt showing, just maybe a little at the bottom down here. But all in all, beautiful stone. Has a lot of pattern all the way across it, and it represents the stone quite well. Next up, this one. So here again, a very nice vitreous pattern. The surface has little to no pitting on it at all. It looks very, very nice all the way down to the edge, and some basalt right there at the bottom edge. But all in all, this is a terrific piece, and this one is ready for jewelry. This one here, nice little stone, has a little bit of surface. This is just the end of that zeolite again right there. Pretty hard to polish that part. So if I move the light across it, you can kind of see, this is just being really picky, but for the most part, I think the depth was hit perfect on this stone. I don't think it could be improved. Got nice pattern coming all the way down to the side, both sides. And this stone should set quite well in a bezel setting. So very, very nice stone. Again, this stone, beautiful. It does have kind of an asymmetrical shape to it, but again, just an amazing finish on it. Pattern comes all the way down. In fact, it's good all the way through the back. You can kind of see that turtle back just extend through the whole stone. Definitely a solid. So this stone would last a long time in jewelry. It would stay nice. The finish on it, just brilliant. And as far as setting this one, as far as settability, if I'm to critique this one just a little bit, this I'm trying to get the right angle. This edge is real thin, and so you just don't have much of a bezel coming up over the top of that without covering the nose of this stone. But it's pretty hard to complain when you're looking at a stone like this. So as a setter, I would just find a way to make it work. And this is just a really great example of a top-notch Isle Royale Greenstone. So one more stone here. I have it. It's really, really a great stone. It has a nice high polish on the surface. The only kind of iffy part about this, if you were to put this in fine jewelry and you had this side exposed and it wasn't bezel set, you would have this basalt here, and it would possibly start to crumble away after many years of use. And so one thing you want to be careful about is if you set a stone in fine jewelry, let's say with prongs instead of a bezel, you really want to be careful about stones like this that look terrific, but have the possibility of this crumbling away. And one thing you can do to avoid that would be simply on this particular cabochon, see that sharp edge? If you were to round that off or just kind of taper that edge just a little bit, see if this other side has that. Yeah, it does. So the other side of it is kind of tapered right here. That would help that cabochon survive a lot longer if it was just put on that flat lap right here and just got that sharp edge kind of taken off of it. That would help this stone last a lot longer and be a better stone. But all in all, terrific greenstone. Looks great and has a nice polish. So we're talking about fine jewelry. What I mean by that is usually like a prong set greenstone similar to this. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a prong set, but when I talk about the pattern extending all the way down to the edge, this is why it's important, because most of the stone is exposed on a piece similar to this. And so, you know, let's see if I can spin it around here. You know, right here you've got nice pattern extending down to the lower part of the greenstone. And so, but where it sort of disappoints is right here on the front edge. It just kind of got this basalt right there. Overall, if you kind of sit back and take a look at the piece, it looks terrific. You know, but if we could have a perfect world and a perfect greenstone, that pattern right here, that pattern would extend all the way down to the lower portions of the greenstone. Anyway, it's a great piece. In case you're wondering, not every greenstone turns out. So I'm fortunate enough to have Bruce DeWitt give me some of these greenstones he was working on, just to kind of show you that not all of them turn out. And if your greenstone isn't turning out on you, don't feel bad. This is just a small handful of stones that just didn't turn out. So for whatever reason, this one here, I'm trying to get the focus to work on it. There we go. It had some of that structure to it, but there just wasn't much to it, and not to mention the big hole in the center of it. So this one here, I can get the focus. This one seems like it could be a better stone if it was smaller. You know, if you were to cut out, say, you know, this back edge here and maybe kind of take off some of that point there, you could probably salvage a decent stone out of the middle here. But then I think the reason it was given up on was it's still black in the center. So if you're removing the outside, all you've got is just black in the middle. And so not much hope there. This one's just abraded through the whole stone. It's just it lacks that structure, and this one was obviously discarded because it's just full of basalt. You have just this little bit of pattern here, you know, right in the center, maybe out to here. So, you know, you could maybe get a stone just out of that little bit here, but still not much there. I don't even know if I'll get to all of these here, but so we've got this stone. I think this one just lacked that structure, that hardness, you know, that you can make a nice polish with. It looks like there's this, what do you call it? Epidote right here, which really does tend to just fracture up greenstone and lends to a poor result on the finish in the end. And so this one, you know, it might get better if it was cut a little bit deeper, but anyway, you can kind of see how this one may not turn out so great. This one just seems to lack that turtleback pattern. It just has a lot of basalt towards the bottom. See if I can get the focus here on the bottom of it. So it's mostly like basalt here. So this is actually a good example of one that you could probably make a better, smaller stone with. Maybe this portion right here could be really terrific. But just wanted to show you a few that just for whatever reason didn't work out. This one here, mostly basalt. You've got some pattern on the top, but mostly it's just a braided greenstone. Of course, all of this applies to gem grade greenstone. When we talk about specimen grade greenstone, a lot of times we're kind of when we're cutting greenstone and working with it, a lot of times we don't really know what we're going to have, a specimen or a gem when we're finished. And so sometimes we get kind of a mixture of both, like you saw in my selection here today. So a lot of those decisions just aren't made until the end. And so that's the fun. That's the gift that we have in the greenstone and cutting them, and that's the fun part. So, well, I sure hope that you're enjoying this Excellence in Greenstone series that we're doing. I know Bruce has been a huge contributor towards pointing out some things that I needed to go over on greenstones, and his expertise is always very valued. So if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out, and we look forward to bringing you more awesome content and continuing this series, Excellence in Greenstones.